Alright guys, another tool video here. Been needing a spindle sander for quite a while. I've been using the drill press. It just don't work. This is oscillating, so it goes up and down while it's spinning just to help clear out the sandpaper on it. You get a much better result with it. This is WEN. As you all know, most of my woodworking tools are WEN brand. Here's the model number, 6510T. I ordered this off Amazon, and as I mentioned in other videos, I am a Amazon affiliate, so there'll be a link to it in the description. These are about a little over $100. Anything like the other WEN products, like the Bandsawing and that other sander I got, it's top quality tools for minimum cost. This is exactly the way it's shipped in this box, just like this. And that's probably about 1.5 feet wide. It's pretty big, probably weighs 40-50 pounds, somewhere around there. So I'm not going to do a complete unboxing video, but I'm going to show you everything that it comes with. So you probably wonder what I'm going to use this for. This video is going to be combining clips from another video on a guitar I'm building. But after I cut the body out on the bandsaw, you always have kind of a rough edge from the bandsaw. So this will be used to smooth it out and get the body into the line from the template. The spindle sander and the drum sander, I should say, and the drill press worked good for the most part, but it just seemed like it never did quite good enough, and it was hard to set up in the drill press. So this will be solving a lot of problems with that. So let's get it open and look at everything that came with it. And I also ordered this separate, and there'll be a link for this in the description as well. An 18-pack of WEN brand sanding sleeves for this and various grits. So that should work pretty good. I know I said I'm not doing an actual unboxing video. I just want to show you how it was packed before I open it. There's that. I absolutely hate styrofoam. I feel like there's better options out there. Because of that, for one. And I hate the noise it makes. Let me get all this out and see what we got. I thought I got one that was returned that was open before, but turns out this bag is just split down the side, so no big concern there. Hopefully everything's still in here. Should be though. This is the sandpaper that comes with it. Not much, just one of each size. These are the drums. I didn't realize it went up to one that big. This is probably going to be the main one I use all the time. And maybe a smaller one for going around where the neck joint is. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Here's the unit. Just got to get it out, and looks like all you got to do is put the spindle together. So that's pretty neat. So you always want to read your book, but just in case you need a reference, this is how all this goes together on here. I was kind of wondering how the washers went on there to these pieces here. That explains everything. And these go in to fill the gap right here in case you work on smaller pieces. It ain't gonna fall inside or nothing, you know. That does come with the wrench as well. So let's just go with whichever size this one is. We'll just put it on there for testing it first. So it don't specify on Amazon about what grit comes with it. It says medium grit. Now 80 grit is not medium grit, so be prepared to have 80 grit that comes with it. It appears that all these are 80 grit. So that's another reason I ordered this, which also has 80 grit in it, but 240 is going to be the main one I'm using. And it's always going to be hand sanded to take it the rest of the way. So if you've ever used a Dremel with a little sanding drum, this is just a big version of it, more or less. So this is just rubber, all this is. So the sleeve slides over it like this, and it basically just squeezes it to expand it out to get grip so it turns. So that's pretty much all there is to it. This must just be another size for that, I believe. So very simple setup for the most part, it appears. Do follow the instruction manual for how these spacers and washers are supposed to be set up. I was thinking there ain't no nut here. For some reason I was expecting a wing nut, but the nut's already on the shaft here, so that's why they don't come with an actual nut. This is something that bugs me with manuals like this, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's just sometimes people don't interpret things right, like I didn't. Number 2 right there just appears to be a standard washer like this, a round washer with nothing else. Here it actually looks like this. I was trying to think, well, what's them holes for? So this goes on first like this, and that's what the spindle sits on, the spacer, but the holes are just for you to pull it out with. So nothing big crazy going on there. Don't forget to put this piece in there. I also wanted to note it has a storage on the back too, so you can keep all these ready to go and just swap them out real quick like that. Super handy. So I'll go ahead and put all the spacers on the sleeves so it'll be ready to go. I assume there's a place, yep, these store right here too. Be the actual drum and this washer. So these different size washers are for the smaller ones. That way, obviously that's not going to fit all the way on there. That goes on there just like that. And it don't show putting either one of these on there, but I guess you could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do it because it won't say to. That's pretty straightforward. So it has a spot right here where you can grip it with a wrench or pliers or something to hold it while you tighten it. You see the whole thing's going to spin. It's already starting to try to grab. So, alright, let me tighten this up off camera. I'm sure it specifies how tight to tighten it. I do know you don't want to tighten them very tight at all. You just want it to grip and not be able to come off. So, I don't know if all spindle sanders are like this, but the smallest one doesn't have the rubber piece that goes inside it because the inside diameter is the same as the outside diameter of the shaft that goes on there. So it don't have that. I was looking everywhere trying to find it. And this is why you always read the book, as you see the note that says the 1/2-inch sleeve is installed directly over the spindle. Alright, so here's the spacers on the front. There's no place to store the extra washers, so I just stuck them in the unused slot that this slot will go in, this piece. This is on there, ready to go. All this is loaded up. The wrench that comes with it goes in here. And standard cord on it. Make sure you anchor it down on a sturdy surface. This will be clamped into a welding table temporarily. It's got a standard like safety style switch on it. Made really nice, good machine surface. So let's plug it in. But this back here is also a dust collection port for your shop vac or whatever you have, and it'll help collect the sawdust from it. It's not going to collect all of it. There's no way if you got a workpiece on here and some of it at the top's going to come off. It will help collect all the finer, annoying sawdust that gets everywhere, like you see there. So it spins this way. I didn't expect that for some reason. I thought it would be faster than that, but I guess it's probably spinning faster than it appears to be. So, alright, let's skip ahead a little bit. I don't have nothing prepared to sand on it yet, other than a couple pieces of scrap wood. But get a guitar body cut out and start going around the edges. Alright, so I missed a very critical step. There's supposed to be a lock washer go on there, so I gotta take it back off and install that. Alright, so our first test piece, I guess you could say, for the new spindle sander is going to be this guitar body we're cutting out. This will be featured in another video later on, and just in case anybody's curious, this is swamp ash, black limba, purple heart, Honduran mahogany, and ambrosia maple. So this is a very unique piece, and you see I've got a unique layout going here. So I'm going to cut this out off camera, then we'll look at touching the edge up. I'm not going to show a whole lot on camera. It's kind of self-explanatory, and you may not even be using it for guitar bodies, so whatever project you're going to be using on might be completely different than this, but might give you an idea of how it works. That's where we're at. And if you're curious about what style this is based off of, if you've ever seen the Fender Pawn Shop series 70s Deluxe Strat, they had something similar to this, but it had a humbucker here instead of a Jazzmaster pickup. It had a neck pickup and this type of pick guard, but other than that, it's completely different. So the body's cut out. You always get a rough edge, and you can't hardly get it close to the line. At least I can. I'm not the best with a bandsaw, but as you can see, the biggest problem right here, I need to true that up with the spindle sander and all that. So that's where it's gonna work the best. Alright, so this is a lifesaver, game changer, whatever you want to call it. I've never been able to get these this smooth before. This is the best I've ever got one. The only part that's rough is right there at the seam. And it's because this purple heartwood is extremely hard. It's by far the hardest wood. Like, these are soft. This is crazy how hard that wood is. But it turned out pretty good. You can see the back, what I was trying to go for here. So, on to the next step. Only really had one issue, and this lock washer that comes with it is not very good, so upgrade the lock washer. May even go with a lock nut instead. I'm pretty sure this is metric. Just the way you don't have to worry about that no more. Paper changes out super easy, and can't be happier with it. Should have bought it years ago. That's all I got. It's my only regret. I did forget to change this, but it didn't seem to matter on a piece as big as I was working on. Didn't even think about it until now. But alright guys, so another good product from WEN. Hope it holds up. It should. It's got plenty of power. It never bogged down or nothing. Highly recommend this. So alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.